po natin, nagsasalita ngayon si Health Secretary Francisco Duque III. Kaugnay nga po dyan sa programang inihanda po para po sa pagdating nitong Sinovac vaccine.
In our history, we deeply appreciate this benevolent gesture from the government of China. While these are challenging times, we express optimism that the Philippines and the People's Republic of China can work together towards a harmonious, sustainable, and healthy future. Truly, no one is safe until everyone is safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Duque. At this point, may we call on His Excellency Ambassador Wang Shilian of the People's Republic of China to the Philippines to give his remarks.
Your Excellency Rodrigo Ra Duterte, President of the Republic of the Philippines, Honorable Executive Secretaries of the Cabinet, Honorable Senator Bongo, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join all of you today here to witness the turnover of the 600,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines donated by Chinese government. For gracing this ceremony, my special thanks also go to the teams of both sides who have been working round the clock to make this happen. Sinovac vaccine have been inoculated in many countries, and its safety and efficacy has been well tested. I hope that the vaccine will help kick off the Philippines mass inoculation campaign. Honoring its commitment. China has rendered vaccine assistance to 53 countries and is exporting vaccine to 27 countries. This has demonstrated China's determination the pandemic in the spirit of solidarity and to build a community. A friend in need is a friend in need. The pandemic in the spirit of solidarity and to build a community with their shared future for the mankind. A friend in need is a friend indeed. It is a fine tradition between China and the Philippines to help each other in trying times. Despite the increasing domestic need of vaccines, China has decided to donate vaccines to the Philippines, and more Chinese vaccines procured by the Philippine government will come soon as expected. This not only shows the solidarity and friendship between our two countries and two peoples, but also signifies the intent of both militaries in fighting against COVID-19 and deepening our defense cooperation. No winter lasts forever. Every spring is sure to follow. As the Chinese saying goes, good neighbors are well wishers for each other. China was among the first to contain the virus and restore economic growth. We sincerely hope that the Philippines could control the pandemic to embrace economic recovery and normal life at the early stage. China will continue to do its utmost to support the Philippines until it secures the final victory. Thank you, President. Thank you, all colleagues and gentlemen. Mabuhay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency Ambassador Huang Xilian. May we now call on Secretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr., the Chief Implementer of the National Task Force Against COVID-19, for his remarks and to introduce our guest of honor.
To our President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Sir, His Excellency Huang Xilian, the Ambassador of People's Republic of China, Senator Christopher Lawrence Tigo, my fellow cabinet members, Executive Secretary Mel Aldea, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. We would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the government of the People's Republic of China for its donation of 600,000 doses of Sinovac vaccines, which we received today. The Philippine government highly appreciates the swift shipment of the vaccines despite China's limited supply and the logistical challenges that had to be addressed. The delivery of these vaccines is another testament of the strong bilateral relationship between the Philippines and China. Our countries have been longtime allies, and we are pleased that this partnership remains as strong as ever as we fight this global pandemic. We will always be grateful to the government and people of China for coming to our country's aid during this difficult time. Mr. Ambassador, my special thank you to you, sir, for living up with your promise. With the arrival of these vaccines, the Philippines will officially begin its vaccine rollout. The actual rollout program will start on Monday at PGH and other hospitals. As we ramp up our preparations for the vaccine rollout, we call on our countrymen to take part in this massive and historic immunization program. As our President had said, no one is safe until everyone is safe. With the added layer of protection provided by the vaccines, we expect a significant decrease in active COVID-19 cases, leading to less stringent community quarantine restrictions, increased economic activity, and a greater sense of normalcy in the lives of our people. Again, to the People's Republic of China, represented here by Ambassador Huang Xilian, our deepest appreciation. Xie xie. Now it's my distinct honor to introduce our President, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, kindly sit down. I'm sorry. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr., the People's Republic of China Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Huang Xilian, National Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, Health Secretary Francisco Duque, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugadi, and the other members of the Cabinet, the National Task Force Chief Implementer and Vaccine Czar, Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., National Task Force Deputy Chief Implementer, Secretary Vicencio Dizon, Senate Committee on Health and Demography, Chairman Senator Bongo, AFP Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Serlito Subihana, and the other members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, PNP Chief General, Police General Dibol Sinas, and the other members of the Philippine National Police, Philippine Commanding General Lieutenant General Jose Faustino, Philippine Air Force General Lieutenant General Allen Paredes, Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command Admiral Giovanni Carlo Bacordo, Philippine Marine Corps Commandant General Ariel Kakulitan, PCG Commandant General George Orsabio Jr., mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, mga kababayan. My fellow Filipinos, we welcome this day with high hopes of finally ending the COVID-19 pandemic in our country. Today we make another step towards an ongoing fight against COVID-19 as we receive 600,000 CoronaVac doses from the People's Republic of China. I convey my sincere gratitude to the Chinese people and the government of China for this gesture of friendship and solidarity, the hallmark of Philippine-China partnership. I also thank Secretary Galvez and Team Pilipinas for working very, very hard. And I would like to personally thank Ambassador Wang Xilian for helping ensure the timely delivery of this donation. I said it before and I will say it again. COVID-19 vaccines should be treated as a global public good and made available to all, rich and poor alike. No nation, no people should be left to suffer the ravages of this pandemic for whatever reason. Comprehensive global recovery hinges on the equal and easy access by everyone to life-saving vaccines. Because at the end of the day, it has repeatedly said, no one is safe until everyone is safe. Countries must therefore continue working together and do everything humanly possible to ensure a good outcome of every person. With this very important shipment, I am confident that more batches of vaccines will be available with great dispatch until every Filipino will be given the chance to be vaccinated at the earliest possible opportunity. I wish to assure the public that your government remains committed to a timely rollout that will enable us to confidently reopen our society. The delivery of this first batch, I hope, will serve as a guarantee to everyone that we are taking a big step in our efforts to overcome this health crisis. The delivery of this first batch, I hope, will serve as a guarantee to everyone that we are taking a big step in our efforts to overcome this health crisis. As we prepare for the distribution of these vaccines, I am directing all concerned agencies to institutionalize the whole of government approach in its rollout. I cannot stress enough, we cannot afford to waste time or resources in the distribution of these vaccines because we are dealing with precious lives. To our dear medical frontliners, allow me to take this opportunity to thank you for your valuable and selfless contribution to the fight against COVID-19. We recognize the profound sacrifices you continue to make every single day, even at the cost of being away from your loved ones and risking your precious lives just so to take care of the sick. As I have mentioned before, I assure you that the government will always be by your side, ready to help in any way we can. To my fellow Filipinos, please set your fears aside. These vaccines are backed by science and deliberated on by our expert, Filipino experts. I encourage you to get vaccinated at the soonest possible time and be a partner in preventing the further spread of the disease. To those who will be vaccinated, I also urge you to continue practicing health and safety protocols as we await for the final approval of all and more vaccines. Remember to wear masks, wash hands, and observe social distancing. Your cooperation here is key and will be undoubtedly saves numerous lives along. With entire nation's support, I am confident that we will claim victory over this pandemic. Panahon ngayon para magbayanihan. Let us demonstrate unity in our shared task of nation building and healthier society of every Filipino. Before I end, I would like to just add that China has donated several vaccines to several countries, but it is only the donation made to the Philippines that was carried by a Chinese government plane. Yung iba kinukuha doon sa China, dito hinatid sa atin. Maraming salamat po. Mr. Ambassador, I'd like to just say that towards maybe at the end of the year, when everything has settled down, I intend to make a short visit to China to just shake hands with President Xi Jinping and to personally thank him for this donation. Thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Bayanihan laban sa COVID-19. Dzxl 558 Radyo Trabaho Special Coverage.
At yan nga po mga kasama ang maikling arrival ceremony para nga po dito sa Sinovac vaccine. At kanina po ay napakinggan natin na nagsalita si Health Secretary Francisco Duque III kung saan po nagpasalamat siya sa China, 'di ba? Para po sa pagbibigay ng mga bakuna sa Pilipinas. Gayon din po sina Vaccine Czar Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. at nagsalita rin po si Chinese Ambassador to the Philippines Wang Xilian. At syempre huli po nagsalita si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. At hinihintay lamang natin na makapasok sa ating linya si Radyoman Emon Mortega para ibigay yung iba pa pong detalye kaugnay nga po dito sa naging arrival ceremony. At kanina po ay makikita din po natin na habang isinasagawa yung programa ay isa-isa na rin pong ibinababa yung mga crates ng COVID-19 vaccine mula po doon sa cargo plane ng China. At kada crate makikita po natin na pagkababa niya agad po talaga siyang sinasanitize. At mga kasama, kasabay nga po ng pangunguna ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte dito po sa seremonya ng pagdating ng Sinovac vaccine ay umaasa po ang Pangulo na magbibigay nga daw po ito ng pag-asa, di ba? Para sa ating mga Pilipino na finally ay matapos na itong COVID-19 pandemic dito sa Pilipinas. At kanina sinasabi niya na talagang itong panahon na ito ay panahon nga po talaga para magbayanihan. At nasa linya na po natin si Rajuman 11 Eman Mortega live mula sa Villamor Air Base. Rajuman Eman.
Rajuman Jane, ito katatapos nga ang maikling programa isinagawa dito sa Villamor Air Base sa Pasay City. Kung saan una nagbigay ng Health Secretary Francisco Duque III na sinundan ni Ambassador Wang Xilian ng People's Republic of China at vaccine Tito Gagos. Kapwa nila sinasabi na malaking tulong ang pagdating ng mga bakuna sa bansa dahil ito na ang simula upang magkaroon na ng panlaban sa COVID-19. Isa rin daw itong pagpapakita ng malakas na ugnayan ng Pilipinas sa bansang China. Habang ang Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte naman ay nagpapasalamat din sa nasabi donasyon na bakuna dahil mismo ang ilang opisyal pa nga ng China ang nagdala nito sa bansa. Sa mga mabibigyan naman daw ng bakuna, sinabi ng Pangulo na ugaliin pa rin ang pagpapatupad ng health protocols hanggat hindi pa nakakarating o hindi pa nababakunahan ang lahat ng Pilipino. Hiling din ng Pangulo ang kooperasyon upang hindi na kumalat ang virus habang muli niyang hinihimok ang lahat ng Pilipino na magpapakuna na. Sinabi pa ng Pangulo na binibigyan din niya ng direktiba ang lahat ng concerned agency na ayusin at agad ay pamahagi ang mga bakuna upang hindi ito masira at mapakinabangan nga ng gusto ng mga Pilipino. Muli rin niya pinasalamatan ang lahat ng medical drivers sa kanilang sakripisyo para kanilang pagtulong kahit na nalilibatan o naiiwanan nila ang kanilang pamilya sa bahay. At isa rin ito nga, sabi nga niya, ang mga medical frontliners ang tumutulong upang wag nang kumalat pa ang virus dito sa ating bansa.
So Rajuman Eman, ibig sabihin bukas ay talagang tuloy na ang vaccination program ng ating pamahalaan.
Tama-tama ka dyan, Rajuman Jano. Ito kung kanina, habang bago magsimula o nagsisimula yung programa, ina-unload na itong mga bakuna dito sa C-130 plane ng China at isirasakay nga dito sa may isang cold storage kung saan dadalhin niya ito sa isang warehouse sa Marikina City.
Alright, maraming salamat Rajuman Eman.
Maraming salamat Rajuman Jane. Live mula rito sa Villamor Air Base sa Pasay City. Rajuman 11, Eman Mortega, Aramen, Dzxl, Pagdating.
At syempre mga kasama, pagkatapos po natin sa Villamor Air Base, ay dumako naman tayo sa Marikina City kung saan nga po sunod, after ng programa dito sa Villamor ay agad pong dadalhin itong mga bakuna sa isang cold storage facility sa Marikina. At ngayon live po mula sa Marikina City, si Rajuman 3 Silvestre Labay. Alamin po natin kung ano na yung ginagawang paghahanda o kung talagang handa na ang Marikina City para nga po sa pagdating nitong Sinovac. Anumang oras po ay darating ang Sinovac vaccine sa Marikina City. Rajuman Rambo, go!
Rajuman Jane, inihayag kanina ni Marikina City Mayor Marcelino Marcy Teodoro na handang-handa na ang DOH Cold Storage Facility dito sa Marikina City sa pagtanggap ng 600,000 doses ng Sinovac vaccine na dumating na nga sa bansa mula sa bansang China. Ayon kay Mayor Teodoro, siya umano mismo ang sasalubong sa unang shipment ng COVID vaccine pagdating sa Metro Pack Mover Storage Facility dito sa Marikina City. Paliwanag pa ng alkalde, mula sa paglapag nito yan na kanina sa Villamor Air Base ay idediretso na agad dito sa lungsod ng Marikina ang bakuna. Dagdag pa ni Mayor Teodoro, hindi umano problema ang impact ng Chinese vaccine sa storage facility dahil may kapasidad naman ito na hanggang 500 milyong doses ng naturang bakuna. Hit pa ni Mayor Teodoro, ngayong gabi, Rajuman Jane, sisimulan din ang pamamahagi o distribusyon ng bakuna sa mga implementing units gaya na lamang ng mga hospital. At bukas din, ayon kay Mayor Teodoro, na pasisimulan ang rollout ng COVID vaccine sa ilang piling hospital sa Kalakhang, Maynila o sa Metro Manila. Yan ang sitwasyon kung saan ay anytime from now, kapag dumating na dito sa Marikina, ay agad na ipamamahagi sa ilang mga piling hospital. Kasama mo sa Marikina City, Radyoman Fred Silvestre Labay. Tatak, RMN, Dzxl, 558.
Maraming salamat, Radyoman Eman at Radyoman Silvestre Labay. At yan nga po mga huling kaganapan nga po, kaugnay po sa pagdating ng Sinovac vaccine dito sa Pilipinas. Again, alas 4 po kaninang hapon nang dumating nga po dito sa Pilipinas ang mga bakuna ng Sinovac at katatapos lamang po ng maikling programa sa Villamor Air Base kung saan po napinangunahan mismo ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at sa mga oras na ito ay isa-isa na nga pong ibinababa yung mga crates ng COVID-19 vaccine na agad po nga dadalhin sa storage facility sa Marikina City na agad din naman pong ipapamahagi sa mga COVID-19 referral hospital dito nga po sa Metro Manila. At abangan po ang iba pang kaganapan mamayang alas 6 ng gabi para sa ating Newsbreak. At yan po muna ang balita sa oras na ito. Ako si Radyoman Jane Martin ng Dzxl 558 at Tatak RMN. Oras natin 5:40.
That time check was brought to you by ACS Manufacturing.